another single-story house, and another house where the estate agent don't tell you the full story. This house is another house that was originally built quite a long time ago, and then had another section added, a more modern section, which obviously improves the appeal of the house. But the estate agent never mentioned this until I got to see the house. It's a single-story house in the Chiba countryside, next to a main road, which is a bit noisy. But it's a fairly good-sized house. It has a loft. Well, there are plus points and minus points. When we visited the house, the family that owned it were moving stuff out, presumably from their elderly relatives who were no longer there. So it was a bit of a mess when we got there. But it was still easy to walk around the house and see the benefits of a fairly large house with some good aspects to it. The old part of the house consists of 4 tatami rooms next to each other, with an engawa going around 3 of those rooms. This means that one of the rooms, which is now in the middle of the house, is completely blocked off from sunlight. I'm not quite sure what you would do with that, maybe use it as a storage room. But the new part of the house is actually quite nice. In the genkan, you can see there's a stairway that leads up to a loft and the inside of the roof. We'll come to that a bit later. This is looking through the house from the old part to the new part. On the left is the little darkened room, which, as I said, is just really going to be a storage room. On the right is a quite nice and quite new room, which I would have quite happily used as an office. Also has a window through to the genkan. It's the old room again. That's the dark room inside the middle of the house. To the right is the new section, which looks very nice. It has a reasonably sized kitchen. The cooker probably needs replacing, but it's in fairly good condition. It's always an advantage when the kitchen doesn't need to be replaced. The cooker can be replaced probably for 60, 70,000 yen. The bathroom looks very modern. Sink is in good condition. There's room for a laundry machine, washing machine. And the actual bathroom is very spacious. Big, wide bath, very nice condition. Unit bathroom, lots of space, perfect. And the toilet next to it, again, loads of space. It's got handles for old people, in good condition. There's a big central room in the new part of the building with an air conditioner, and a room to the right, which could be a bedroom, could be used as a dining room, again with an air conditioner. Going back into the old part of the house, it's a bit dark, so you need a torch. This is the internal room leading to one of the external rooms, although there is an engawa going around the old rooms. Again, the condition's not too bad, it looks quite nice. The only problem with a bigger family is how you would separate bedrooms and living rooms and living spaces. There is a second toilet at the end of the engawa, again quite new, looks very nice. There was a warning that it wasn't working probably and might actually need some of the piping work repaired. It could be done quite easily. Here you can see the layout of the main rooms, the tatami rooms in the old section of the house. There are doors, obviously paper doors that shut off the rooms or can separate the rooms, but obviously it's not very well soundproofed. There is evidence of water leaks, but I suspect it might have been repaired. The outside of the roof looks in very good condition, almost new, so I think it probably doesn't leak anymore. You could get a building inspector to check that just to confirm it, or even the estate agent. They should be able to confirm that. There's quite a big genkan, so that's very nice. You can put lots of stuff in there and store your shoes. And as I said, there's a stairway going up to the rather open loft. Moving to the outside, it looks pretty good from the outside. The land area isn't very big and it's surrounded by fairly tall trees, which obviously have left a lot of leaves on the ground. And there isn't much space for gardening. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. There's also a well at the back of the house. Being next to a main road can be a problem. Very often lorries cause vibrations in the house, but also there's a lot of noise, and this house hasn't been soundproofed. Like I said, the roof looks in fairly good condition. Here you can see where the houses join, the old part and the new part. And even underneath the old part, it looks like it's been reinforced. Concrete underneath the house seems quite new. It looks to be in very good condition. As you can see, the roof looks in pretty good condition. As I say, it looks quite new. I think it's been redone, but there is an issue which I'll get to a little later. This is a look at the underside from the new section, so it looks in pretty good condition. You can see a little bit towards the old section. Obviously you've got new pipes, new concrete, wood in good condition, no evidence of any rot. Always reassuring to look underneath the house when you see a house. This hole is obviously in the kitchen. Now we're going up to see the loft. The loft doesn't spread over the whole area of the house, it's just in one section. Let's say there's a lot of room for development. You could actually make it into a nice room. You could even remove some of the ceiling and leave the massive beams in place and visible. But from what I saw, the roof needs insulation and possibly extra waterproofing. It didn't seem like there was any insulation in the roof at all, which could be a problem. Overall, I thought it was a really nice house. It was on the market for about 6.5 million yen. Obviously it needs a bit of repair work, but not too much. Whether or not you want to live next to a major road is a different problem, but it was certainly a house that I considered for a while.